Hey, welcome to the AL.com film room. I'm Matt Scalici here with John Parker Wilson, our AL.com Alabama football analyst. We're going to be taking a look at Alabama's big win over Florida from last weekend, looking at a few plays, particularly from Blake Sims, who really went off in this game, John Parker.
Yeah, we're going to spend a lot of time on Blake Sims, like has been the subject of conversation this whole year. But the first SEC game for Alabama coming out and setting the tone early. Great game by Blake, by Amari. Henry with over 100 yards rushing, so a lot of production from a lot of different guys. But we'll take a look and see why the plays work, why they were successful, and kind of the trends that the offense is going in right now.
And before we start looking at individual plays, just your thoughts on this performance from Blake Sims so early in his career as a starter here. What does a game like this do for your confidence?
Huge for the confidence. First SEC, Florida coming in, 23 of 33, to have that many completed passes. Over 400 yards was just a special day. It's one of those days that, you're not thinking, it's just coming out and everything's happening, everything's working. So it's good to see him do that. He's going to have this confidence and take it for the rest of the year.
All right, we're going to start off with a look at really the first offensive snap of the game. It didn't take Alabama long to get on the board against Florida.
No, first play of the game right here was actually a designed screen pass. We'll get into it, but the play set up to go to the bottom, and it's kind of a quarterback picked the side he wanted to go to. It's a one-on-one against the linebacker. We see Drake matched up a linebacker and immediately takes advantage of it. So it starts off with man coverage right here, and Blake immediately recognizes it and takes advantage of it. Throws a good ball, gives him a chance to adjust. It's not easy for a running back out there running deep routes, but it gives him a chance to adjust, and he runs it in for the touchdown. First play, great way to set the tone for the game. All right, so we'll take the wide look right here, and we'll see man coverage. So everybody's manned up against their guy, and we'll have one linebacker in the middle of the field, and he's playing a spy coverage. So he's really looking to try to find some crossing routes just to find somebody to pick up. And then we'll have one safety back in the middle of the field, and he's just playing center field or trying to look for anything that comes. So we'll start the play here, and you can see him trying to set up the screen pass. Right here, we're trying to get the ball to Amari early in the game, trying to get the ball in his hands, get going downfield. But instead, we see Drake up here matched up against a linebacker, something that you want to take advantage of all the time. And he runs a traditional, what we call a sluggo. So it's a slant and go. He fakes a slant, goes upfield. And as we see it keep going, the safety that's in the middle of the field right here, he gets caught up on this crossing route. And that's the reason that the play happens so well. Not only does Drake beat this corner for the deep ball, but he's able to hold the safety up. You see him flat-footed right there, and that's what makes the play. That's why you get behind him and then outrun him for the touchdown.
All right, so obviously, once again, Blake Sims and Amari Cooper had a lot going on together in this game, especially early on this play.
Right. Everybody knew Amari was going to get the ball, and they still couldn't cover him. Right here with this play, it's a really good job by Blake and Amari being on the same page. This is a timing throw, and Blake does a great job of throwing it right behind the linebacker, and Amari does a great job of making a move at the top of the route. You can see it come right in behind the linebacker's head, and it's a perfect throw. We've got two safeties right here guarding the top outer halves, and it's just a one-on-one man coverage with the linebacker. Amari's able to beat him, and Blake throws a perfect ball, in for the big play, big first down right here.
So right here we see Amari Cooper haul in the second touchdown pass of the day from Blake Sims. So how does he get so open on this play, John Parker?
Yeah, it's another designed play to go downfield. We want to take a shot. We want to try to take a big chunk right here from the defense. And I think this is just respect for Amari. We see him start to bend out to the out route, and he's able to get in behind because the safety just it looks like he's so scared he doesn't know what Amari's going to do. So we'll let it run right here, and it's a hard play action by Blake, and he does a good job of once and again getting all these linebackers to come up. So they're immediately out of position. Even if Amari's not open, somebody else is going to be open just because they're so out of position from the play action. And we'll see the safety right here. Amari is faking this deep corner route, which would be a corner typically, but instead we have a double move, and he pumps and goes downfield. And you can see the safety is just completely lost, completely out of position because he is in charge of this entire half the field. And because he's out of position, allows Amari just to get behind him. And he does a really good job right here of looking into the sun. Those of us who were there know the sun was brutal. Yeah. And it was right in his face. You see his eyes tracking the ball. He catches it over his shoulder. Blake does a good job of putting air on it, allowing him to bring it in and score the touchdown.
All right, another thing a lot of Alabama fans were cheering about at this game, O.J. Howard finally getting a catch. Let's take a look at that play.
O.J. finally getting the touch. Everybody was happy. You know, the crowd erupts. And he does a great job. Again, man coverage. We saw this all day from Florida, was the man coverage. And we'll take a deeper look at this play and really see why he came open. He did a really good job of running a precise route against man. You can see him have the inside leverage right here with the safety on top of him. But even more so, this is a single field safety right here. So we've got one safety. And as you can see, the safety right here is eyes on Amari Cooper. Instead of the middle of the field where he's supposed to be, he's outside the hash and leaves the middle of the field completely wide open. And that gives O.J. just the perfect zone to find in there. Blake gets him the ball. But further than just running a good route, it was Amari really setting the tone and getting the safety over there, the respect that they have for him, you know, just opened that play up and allowed O.J. to finally get a catch.
So another thing Blake Sims had success with in this game, throwing the ball to the running backs.
Yeah, the running backs, and especially right here, we'll see the fullback get involved. The first play is designed to go to the fullback. All the way, we're throwing the ball to Fowler right here. He does a good job of selling the play fake and then just getting upfield. Right here on the touchdown, this is kind of it looks like he's trying to run it, he's trying to throw it, a little confusion back, but you can see right here really of the respect for Sims' running ability, and the linebacker, instead of covering the flat, he's got eyes on the quarterback right here, so that leaves this zone wide open for Fowler. And what he does a really good job of is not running out of bounds. A lot of times when you'll lose where the field's at, you'll lose where the sideline's at. He has good body control. Blake throws him a strike, and he's able to keep his feet in, drag it right here, and does a great job for the fullback. We'll talk about the celebration a little bit later. We need to work on that, but it's a great throw and catch. Okay, again here we'll see trying to get the ball to the running backs. We set up a screen to Henry, trying to get the ball to the guys, trying to get the ball to the playmakers, and he does a good job of running downfield. What impressed me about this was him getting the ball and these big guys getting downfield trying to block, trying to take care of their guys, just interrupting, getting downfield, and of course Henry does a good job of breaking tackles, getting in the red zone, setting up another score.
All right, later in the game, Blake Sims making another big play with his feet. Let's take a look at this.
Using his ability to run, and I think Blake is doing such a good job of going through his progressions, seeing what's downfield, and then pulling it down when he needs to. Right here, we'll see a blitz from the defense. So we've got the two outside linebackers coming, and what's going to happen is this linebacker is playing man against Henry, the running back. And as soon as he sees Henry to go block, goes and blocks the outside linebacker right here. So Henry's blocking this guy, and he's immediately adding on. And Blake knows that this guy is covering the running back and knows he's got about time for one pass. He's got to look at one receiver, and then he's got to go. He's got to run. You can see him eyes downfield. It's covered. It's time to go. He's got to abort the pass. Gets downfield. Does a great job right here running the ball, getting the first down. What we didn't like to see here was it getting banged up a little bit and taking the hit on his shoulder.
All right, so we see Blake Sims get banged up a little bit there near the end of the game. Did come back in and throw a few passes, but obviously going to be a little bit sore for a few days going into this bye week.
Yeah, it takes a shot, has to leave the game, but thank goodness he came back in. The bye week couldn't have come in a better week. With coming off the first 4 games and having the long, extensive training camp, this will be good time for the guys to get their feet back under them, kind of have a couple mental relaxation days where they're not full football all the time. I don't think the bye week could have come better, and especially from Blake Sims' point of view, to get us some rehab, some treatment on his shoulder to get that back full go.
So what are some of the concerns when you're coming off something like this? A relatively minor thing with your throwing shoulder, but as a quarterback, what are the concerns? What are the things you have to think about going into a game when you're coming off something like that?
You really have to communicate with the training staff and just know your body and know how to handle it. You want to go out there and you want to throw every day and you want to get every rep in practice. But now is the time to really talk with the coaches, talk with the training staff, and just have a game plan about how to handle it. We don't know the extent of the injury. It might be nothing at all. It might be just a little bruise. But moving forward, it'll be something he has to monitor and just keep tabs on.
That's it for this week's AL.com Film Room. For John Parker Wilson, I'm Matt Scalici. Thanks for watching.